Hey, hey, Blue Table fans, Sean here, and a happy Monday morning to you. Remember that you happen to your day doesn't happen to you, and I hope you have a great week, in spite of people that you might work with who maybe they look down on you. Maybe you say something cheerful and they just kind of snort derisively. Well, don't worry about that. You just keep plugging along in your cheerful old way. All right, today we're going to talk about Dark Elves, and we're going to talk about the past and the future. Now, I'm in the main room in the upper hall of Blue Table Painting's Painting Fortress, registered trademark. So you are going to hear some people talking in the background, but don't worry about that. It's just all part of the ambiance. So I'm over on Natvka, and he has absolutely fantastic roomers. And here come the Dark Elves, and I was actually surprised because there was nothing on them. Now it's 1 week into September, and it says October release, and that usually means early October. So that's about a 4 week heads up. All right, so way back when I started Warhammer Fantasy, this is in like 98, something like that, 99 maybe. And it was High Elves that I started with, then Wood Elves, then I did a Dark Elf army, and so I'm familiar with all the incarnations of Dark Elf models. So, all right, away we go. I'm just going to spoon feed the text to you. Dark Elves appear to be ready for launch come October 5th, as information about them keeps on pouring out. It appears that this release will be a large overhaul on the current range, and for fans and Dark Eldar fans, this will be a release to keep a close eye on. Of course, we are still a month out, but here is the latest. So why Dark Eldar fans too? It's because it's looking to be like this is going to be a lot of compatible pieces, and just one bit, one weapon, one interesting sort of embellishment can really make a model into something special. And so, and likewise, if you have Blue Table Painting do your Dark Eldar army, which we can, with our incredible full-time staff of artists who are just on hand to take your order, we'll have a whole lot of bits to convert right on in with your project. So now when it says a large overhaul in the current range, boy, we are about to discuss that, because if these rumors are right, this is going to be quite a heavy release for any army. Okay, moving on. Please remember that these are rumors, and even though these were posted on Warseer, come from the guys over at 40K Radio, linked below, which gives these rumors very solid credibility. And I do want to comment that Gary at Natvka.blogspot.com is really awesome with his rumors. He's got a lot of really good connections, and he vets them very well. Not like I would do. I would just take everything face value. I'm definitely not cynical to be in the war games rumor business. Okay, even though it is 40K Radio, both myself and the other host both play a lot of Warhammer Fantasy battles. We can and won't show pics unless our source gives us the okay. The pictures we have received are the high-res pictures that will be in the White Dwarf. As of right now, we only have the pics, no details on the book. Last time we got pictures, and then the book a little later. As soon as we get more info, we will pass it on. So as far as weapons, I can only go off the pictures. Here's what I see. The Warriors, Blackguard, Dark Riders all have cloaks. None of them appear to have face coverings. The Executioners appear to have skull-faced helms. The theme to me seems to be a more sinister version of their high elf brethren. The plate armor has very spiked and jagged edges. The style will fit well with the shades and Reaper. Now that's referring to the bolt thrower, but next to these, the new models will look very dated. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Dark Elf range here. View entire product list. So right now, let's just do an assessment. So you've got, let's not take a look at heroes just yet. Let's just zip right on down to core units. So you've got Dark Elf Warriors. These are due to be redone, and quite frankly, these models are extremely old. They are just, I mean, they're okay, but they are a little gimpy. They have a waist point that is flat, and the helmets just really are not that inspiring. All right, let's move on. Okay, so anyway, let's take a look at the shades. That's really what I came here for. Those are in the special units section. So these guys will look maybe a little dated, but not entirely out of place with the new range. Come on, Dark Elf shades, just load up. So these are actually really, really good models, and I think they will possibly stand the test of time there. So, you know, lots of little like hooks and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the repeater bolt thrower, currently in rare units. I predict, just like High Elves, they will not move out of rare. So here you go. And this actually, to my mind, is a very strong kit. Definitely has a very sort of elegant feel that you see with the Dark Eldar right now. There's only one little piece. See, like there's this little skull here. That's kind of a throwback to old Dark Elf, like lots of skull iconography there. All right, let's move on. So we just looked at those. Okay, we have not received any pics of the characters, but that does not mean there won't be any. Okay, there's a separate rumor thread for characters, which I will cover shortly. Warlocks. Okay, so here's your new troop choice. Just like the whatever it is, the High Elves received the kit Sisters of Avalorn, which in fact, let's go ahead and just go over to High Elves and take a look at what that kit is. And I think this will give us a clue as to sort of the pattern for the releases for Dark Elves. So GW is very I guess consistent. Like it does things a certain way, and then so you can look at the pattern. So this kit had 10 guys in it. It made Shadow Warriors, not Shades. That would be the Dark Elf Scouts. But also made Sisters of Avalorn, which is an absolutely cool kit. And that's what I have in my army. And boy, by the way, I am absolutely not, there's no problem with Sisters of Avalorn. Every game I've played them, they've survived and really pulled their own weight. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if this Warlocks kit was a dual kit, and it had some kind of ranged thing on it. So it was like the equivalent of the Sisters of Avalorn, kind of filled that role of elite ranged attacks. So, all right, let's move on. The new chariot is armed with spears and what looks like a large crossbow bolt thrower on the chariot. That's consistent with High Elves. Warlocks are bare-chested and the weapons look mundane, aka not glowing. They look like large, jagged daggers. They're held in reverse grips, which looks pretty slick. The Warlock Champion's eyes are glowing, which in my opinion hints at some magical abilities. By the way, I would not be surprised at that. As far as the warriors go, I think a big difference will be the size of them. Look at the size difference between the Isle of Blood Lothern Sea Guard and the normal High Elves Spearmen. By the way, the Sea Guard from Isle of Blood are ridiculously awesome. Just see if I can find Isle of Blood on here. Here we go, the Isle of Blood. Let's take a look at the Lothern Sea Guard, because the studio army has 30 of these bad girls, and they are just fantastic. Yep. Okay. That's weird. I don't see the Sea Guard in here. Is that them? No, that's the Sword Masters, Illyrian Reavers. Here you go. Here's the Sea Guard. These are, I mean, geez, just look at how handsome these figures are. I mean, amazing. And so this is what I predict you're going to see for the Dark Elf Spearmen. And all right, so let's go ahead and go back. So Warriors, the new Warriors will look quite different to me, but then again, I'm a big geek that notices stuff like that. They have cloaks that come down to their back, and all helmets don't cover their eyes anymore. So, okay, that's kind of cool. Cloaks hang down from underneath their shoulder armor and cover the back of the chainmail. It definitely is new for them, but it looks really cool. The Druchii, that's the I guess, language for Dark Elves. The Druchii warriors also have shoulder armor. It makes them look simply awesome. The skull embossed on their shield looks great too. So I'm not a fan of embossing on the shields. I think it's very limiting. I like blank shields, but they did that with the Sea Guard, And it's not too bad. You don't have to detail this in like this. You can always just give it a nice dry brush and then maybe some highlights there, and it looks okay. All right, so okay, so Hydra. Okay, so this is a dual kit. The Hydra looks bigger and beefier. Like I said, Dark Elves are setting the bar for the best range of models in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. What? Awesome. Well, I mean, look at, see, here we go. I pulled this up. This is the old Dark Elf chariot, and really, and it was metal, and then for a long while you couldn't even get it. And this is how you do a Slaanesh chariot. And quite frankly, these are really cool. Although the old Cole ones are kind of humpy and gimpy, you know. But there you go. And in fact, let's look at an old first edition Dark Eldar Warrior. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some pictures here. Here we go. All right, I'm not seeing what it is that I want to see here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, is that the best one? Yeah, here you go. So look at this. So this is the old Dark Eldar Warrior, which was really pretty. Not, I mean, it was great for the times. It was great for late 90s. In fact, here you go. Here's one. There you go. Yeah, look at that hair. That was really wild. So they weren't too bad, but really, when you compare them to the new ones, they really, here's the new witches. They really were not that incredibly awesome. And so this is the reason I bring this up is because I believe the Dark Elves will follow this same pattern. They're going to have this really ornate, Baroque, very segmented armor, but of course they'll tone it down a little bit. It'll look a little bit more fantasy. Here you go. Here's a new Dark Eldar Warrior. So yeah, I mean, you can obviously see the difference here, and quite frankly, I think it's really a great improvement. Okay, so back to the Hydra. Hydra looks bigger and beefier, etc., etc. I can't really tell from the size of the picture. Two handlers actually on the base, so I don't have their base size to compare to. It's going to be on a chariot base. That's put me down as that being my prediction. The Hydra does have two handlers. The Kraken, so this is a dual-use kit, and you'll notice that's how pretty much all of them are now. It's a dual use, and it makes sense. This will be along the lines of the Luminarch Hurricanum for Empire, of the Bastiladon Solar Engine versus Ark of Sotek for Lizardmen. So the Kraken, release the Kraken. It has 5 heads, fanged maws. They have spines and scales with smooth neck and belly flesh. Scales are painted with dark gray and softer flesh painted blue. Now, my prediction here is not only will you have different heads, but you have different feet for this one. And this goes along with the whole nautical theme of the Dark Elves. And in fact, you have that with High Elves too, with the Lothern Sea Guard kind of being a sub-faction that has this ocean-going sort of thing to it. And so let's take a look at the current Hydra. The current Hydra was a pretty strong model. When it was pewter, it was horrible, always breaking, so prone to breakage. What is it? Resin version of it was pretty awesome. It held a ton better, and quite frankly, this model was pretty cool. I used it in my D&D games, and I used these guys as drow warriors. And in fact, I may end up doing that when I set up Ultimate D&D Valhalla, and that is going to be ridiculously awesome. And run the D series. That is going to be absolutely fantastic with miniatures and everything. So anyway, now what's going to be weird is if you put 2 handlers on this chariot base, that is a very crowded base. So I'm going to give it a 20% chance that it's going to be on that larger 4-inch by 6-inch base. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so Witch Elves. Picture we have Witch Elves have them with two-hand weapons. Now I want to make a comment here. And that is, Games Workshop is not awesome at sculpting the female form. And, I mean, even the witches for Dark Eldar, in fact, let's look at the witches for Dark Eldar. And let me ask you if you would like to date one of these girls. And the answer is yikes, big yikes. And in fact, a lot of times with these kits, they make them so they're compatible male female. And in fact, they did that with the Sisters of Avalorn. They just have armor over their breasts, and so it's kind of this generic thing. Now the witches don't have that, but they do have generic hips, so it gives them. It's like, what is going on in the mind of the English sculptor here, that it's like they just, even if they have a feminine sort of feel to them, they are very, very, they're mean and aggressive looking, and I don't think that is going to be any exception for the Dark Elves. Okay, so hold on, I'm looking something up now. Images. This is this is Rackham, which, as you know, is a French company, and they did some fabulous female warrior figures. Let me see if I can find a decent picture of some here. Nope, that's not very high resolution there. So here we go. Yeah, that's actually a good one. There we go. So here's a Celt Fianna by the French company Rackham, and that seems more like it. It's hard to get that face. That face still looks a little, well, I don't know, maybe it's just hard to sculpt faces. How would I know? But anyway, that's awesome. That's what I'm hoping to see with the Dark Elf Witches, something a little more lithe. And then there's a company, oh my gosh, I cannot remember the name of it. It's called, how can I not know this? Not Avatars of War. Oh my gosh, it's another company. It's called Bane Beasts or something like that. Let me just see if I can find those. Here, enjoy this picture of these witches while I look this up. Or I guess don't enjoy them. Bane Beasts, miniatures. I don't think this is it. I don't think that's the company that I'm looking for. Hold on, let me check my bookmarks here. RPGs, miniatures, battles. Here we go. Nope, I do not see them. Why can I never remember that? All right, hold on. I think we might be on to something here. Queen of Darkness. What? That's not right. Hold on. All right, you know what? Just go to Avatars of War. Maybe that is it. Maybe that is what I'm thinking about. See, yeah, in fact it is. Yes, I'm awesome. Beasts of War. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Avatars of War. So I'm going to show you guys some alternate figures that will probably be really still very strong for the whatever it is. Nope, that's not it. All right, you know what? I'm just going to come back to this. English. All right, so here we go. Okay, Witch Elves, Blackguard. Blackguard! So I loved these guys in 7th edition because they were stubborn. They had hatred, so they would re-roll their attacks. They were just ridiculously amazing. They would just plow through everything. Super, they were just champs. So I'm going to predict that Blackguard Executioners come in the same kit. So let's see if there's something here that contradicts that. Blackguard look very stalwart with large halberds and high helms with 3 spikes on each side with a flowing plume on top. Their armor is black trimmed in gold and they have dark purple cloaks. The unit champion is holding a sword by the hilt with the blade planted in the ground. Yikes. Musician is a drummer. Okay, that sounds about right. Executioners have what look like skull helms and their armor is a brighter silver than the Blackguard, but not different. Their tunics are red in color and their draches are held on the left hand side of their bodies. Their left, our right. They look very cool ranked up. That could be a double kit, and that would make a little more sense here when we get down to the model count. of what is going on here. All right, hold on. I'm looking on this other side here. All right, Dark Riders are very cool-looking, sleek-looking horses with only a bit of armor. All the riders are hunched over in the saddle to give the illusion of speeding, fast cap. Awesome. I used to convert mine out of Wood Elf cavalry and Corsairs, and that was the best conversion. So, but now that they're doing it right, that'll be fantastic. Helmet appears to be open face, and they're armed with spears. In the picture I have, once again, that doesn't mean they won't get crossbows. They'll get crossbows. But no hint of this being a double kit, so there it is. Kraken. Kraken doesn't have tentacles, it has 4 legs with webbed appendages ending in claws, and also has a tail. So, okay, here we go. All right. Looks like I'm making some progress here on Avatars of War. Nope, they just do characters. That is not that awesome. So, all right, we're over at Avatars of War. Let me just show you one of their characters. Some of these come with torsal revealingness, and those alternate out with not. So this actually isn't too bad of a figure, and I will probably sprinkle these into my Dark Elf army just because they're really fantastic. And Warcast, Avatar, yep, that's Avatars of War. That's weird. Hold on. I'm still looking for this one thing I really want to show you, and I just cannot remember the name of the company that does it. All right, well, anyway, okay, and then back to the Cauldron of Blood, Blood Throne. Look very cool. If you're a fan of the new larger models GW is putting out for Warhammer Fantasy Battle, you'll really dig it. It is a bit toned down and compared to the Empire Celestia, Hurricane, and Luminarch. I have no idea what that means. Does that mean it's smaller? Because the Luminarch is only like chariot sized, has a lot of stuff on it. But boy, I hope it's not toned down in any way, in detail or size. So, but I'm sure it'll be cool, like the vampire counts. What's that called? I can't remember off the top of my head. In fact, why don't we just go to vampire counts and take a look at it? So vampire counts have, in fact, every thing had a double kit. The Ragnarok for orcs and goblins, the War Sphinx, and whatever it is for Tomb Kings. So here we go. I'm trying to think of 3 things at once right now, and that is really not my thing. So Coven Throne Mortis Engine, and this thing's huge. I mean, look at there's this little chariot base down here, and this thing just floats above it. So quite frankly, I would say yes, please, to a Dark Elf thing that was of that scale. Okay, let's go into the next rumor list. This should go a little bit more quickly. Again, there is some background noise, and you just have to love that as part of the ambiance of Blue Table Painting. And they're like, Sean, do you have to talk about your rumors so loud? And because they're trying to do stuff. Karen's looking at me. She's waving. I don't know. Does she look irritated? It's hard to tell. All right. According to this rumor bit, there's some missing information from the last post about Dark Elves from 40K Radio. Specifically, I told that the character release were left out, so let's take a look at what was being said. Okay, we're not going to go to the link. Dark Elves will be out in October with a slew of new models. Okay, so here you go. New plastic Dark Elf Warrior kit makes spearmen, swordsmen, and crossbowmen. Okay, that makes sense. And that's the problem, is that if they didn't update a lot of this stuff at once, the things that weren't updated will look so outdated. Well, I mean, what the heck is it? It's the thing where Eldar had jet bikes. Jet bikes desperately needed an update, and they didn't get it. But that's okay. They gave us new cool stuff, and okay, new plastic Dark Riders Warlocks. Oh, okay, there it is. There's your double kit. I couldn't piece that together, because otherwise it'd be like 9 new plastic kits, and that doesn't make sense. So now we're up to 2. Blackguard Executioners. Oh, what did I say? Plastic Cold One Chariot Scourge Runner. Okay, that makes sense. Cauldron Blood Throne. This model is amazing. Now, this leads me to believe, because the pattern has been that you get like a big kit. So for vampire counts, you got the Coven Throne, and then you got the Terrorgeist Feralgeist. So that's a pattern. Same thing for ogres. Ogres got they got a chariot-sized release, and they got also they got the Iron Blaster scrap launcher. Funny, nobody used the scrap launcher because the Iron Blaster was so ridiculous. It was just ridiculously awesome. And then they got the Thunder Tusk Stonehorn, and then that kit was ridiculously amazing. So, guy, good job, Games Workshop. All they have to do now is leave me alone. All right, Plastic Hydra Kraken, so double kit, double kit, double kit, double kit, double kit, triple kit. Bam! That makes sense. Now, Plastic Witch Elf box. Now, this is where it gets a little weird, because why would that not be a double kit? So I'm going to go ahead and just push some of my chips out onto that. It is going to be a resin fine cast. That's what they call it. It's going to be a fine cast kit. So okay, so here we go. Character releases. Plastic Cane character, Assassin Shadowblade, Admiral with Dark Fleet, Executioner special character. Well, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say what they'll do because, but if it's going to mirror High Elves, they're going to do Lord and Hero versions of some of the basic troops. So like the Anointed of Assyrian, which was the Phoenix Guard Lord, and also a Lore Master, which was a Sword Master Lord. All right, folks, that's all I have for you this morning about Dark Elves. When you think about having your army just made for you wonderfully and beautifully and just showing up at your doorstep, possibly in foam cases already, think about Blue Table Painting. We have a full-time inquiry staff just waiting and on hand to answer any of your questions, give you a no obligation quote. And so we've got Ryan. I'm looking at Ryan right now. He's typing away. He's typing like a madman. Oh my gosh, his fingers must be so sore. So anyway, so Ryan's a real champ, and he's available by phone, Skype, or email for you. Just check the liner notes for that. And boy, let me tell you, once your project hits a team of Blue Table Painting painters, it gets some amazing attention, both in skill and the number of man hours that is just poured into it. And just a little tip: if you send in your models, because we'll order your models, but if you send in your models yourself, it does get things through just a little bit faster right now, and that is very helpful. So this is Sean saying thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed and got your inspiration for the day. P.S. It was Raging Heroes. That was the miniatures line that I was thinking of. Here you've got their blood vestals. So this is what I'm hoping GW does with the Witch Elves. And if they don't, well, guess what? Might just have to get some of these, because this is absolutely ridiculously, fantastically well done in every single way. Just absolutely over the top. So there you go. All right, that's all I got.